importance of asking questions. We all keep asking questions. We ask questions from our friends, from our parents, from everybody who's around us. So what happens when we ask a question? Either we get an answer or we don't get an answer. If we get an answer, well, good enough. If we don't get an answer, sometimes we are annoyed, sometimes we just ignore it, sometimes we think that maybe what I was asking was not important. So today, we will find out that how I should ask a question and how I can make my questions more effective that I get an answer. Now till we don't get an answer, there is a big question mark in our mind. What has happened? Why I didn't got an answer? Am I not that important that if I ask a question and people don't respond to me? We ask questions for three reasons. First, to get information. Second, to find out, to gather knowledge. Third is to find out whether the person is listening to me or not. Right? So these are the three basic reasons why we ask a question. Now second thing is why we don't get an answer. First thing is I don't get an answer because the person is not listening to me. Now why he is not listening to me? Either the room is very noisy or there is a lot of communication barriers there. Second thing, the person is too preoccupied with his own thoughts that he did not bother to listen what you are saying. Third thing is, the person is not interested to talk to me. So these are the main things why people don't answer you. So now let's talk about why we don't get an answer when I ask a question. There are three basic reasons which I have listed in here. First thing is noise barrier. The place where I am asking a question is too noisy, I am not able to reach the person's ear. Second thing is I am so preoccupied. Somebody has asked me a question but I am so busy in my own thoughts that I just not able to listen to the question. Now the second thing is why I am not able to answer your question is I am so preoccupied. My mind is wandering somewhere, I am thinking something else, and when a question comes to me, I am not even interested to hear it. Third point is straight, I am not interested. I am not interested to listen what you are saying to me. So these are the 3 points where I do not get a reply when I ask a question. Now I will be talking about the importance of trial clues. Now when I put a question, why I am putting a question? I want to gather knowledge. I want to know something. I want to be a part of something. Suppose I am going somewhere, I ask a lot of questions. How to go, where to say. All these things are called gathering knowledge. Second point, what I will be discussing is, second point as I have mentioned is to see whether the person is listening to us or not. A trial class should not be like a, we are interrogating somebody. कहाँ गए थे, कितने बजे गए थे, क्या कर रहे थे. In fact, trial clause is something which helps us to find out whether the person is listening to us or not. For example, when a teacher is taking a class, teacher cross questions you and ask, what I have explained to you. Or when we are at home, somebody asks us what you have understood. So somewhere when I ask an opposite question, when I throw back a question to you after explaining something, it makes me clear that whatever I have made you understand, it is very clear to you. Third thing is taking control. Now how I take a control, suppose your mind is somewhere else and I am explaining you something, and immediately I stop and ask, yeah, tell me what I have explained, what you have understood. If your mind is somewhere else, you will give a very blank expression. Now whenever you ask a question, wait for a response. Very, very important. Normally when we ask a question, human brain takes some time to assimilate that question, prepare a response for it. So don't be in a hurry when you don't get an answer when you ask a question. Let the person give that time so that he can think about what he is going to answer. Do not push a second question on him. So it is very, very important that you need to wait for a response. Now there are 2 golden rules of silence. Whenever I put a question, I need to use these two golden rules of silence. Now first is, when I ask a question, I need to give a pause of maybe 2-3 seconds or even more, looking at the person's face and waiting for the response. If the person answers and he finishes his answer, then the second rule of silence starts. Now during this time, again I have to give the person some time, maybe he has something else to say. Now the question comes, how I am going to make the person listen to me. You have applied 2 rules of silence. When you put a first rule and you don't get a reply, remember, keep your mouth shut. Don't speak anything. Always keep telling yourself, one who speaks first loses. This is a very important thing to remember. Then only this tool will be effective in communication. Till you don't use it properly, till you don't learn how to keep your mouth shut after asking a question, you will not get a response. Now what happens when you don't answer? Imagine you have asked a question to somebody, you are sitting in front of him and you have put a question to him and you don't get a response. Just keep looking at that person. Don't prompt yourself to rephrase that question or ask the next question. Just think that I have to get a response. Keep telling yourself, one who speaks first loses, and we don't like to be losers. We like to be winners. So just remember, that is the only way to get an answer. Keep looking at the person with a smile on your face and till you don't get an answer. Now what happens when you don't answer, when you don't get an answer and you are sitting in front of a person looking at his face? Now whatever that person is thinking or doing or ignoring you, he will have a question in his mind. Why this person is looking at me? What happened? He said something, I was not able to hear it. So let me ask him. So the pressure is there inside that person to ask you that question again. He will say, sorry, pardon, I was not able to hear what you asked me. So what you have done? By keeping your mouth shut, you have brought all his attention to yourself. He is only thinking about you, and now when you put the same question again, he will be listening to you and guarantee me he will answer you, and he will answer you what you want to hear. Thank you.